Welcome back, Shadow Seekers. Today, we're diving into a chilling Christmas legend that is talked about in small towns, passed from one terrified witness to the next. A story that proves not everyone who comes singing at your door on Christmas Eve is human. This is the unsettling tale of the Midnight Carolers. Every year, as Christmas approaches, people expect the usual traditions: twinkling lights, hot cocoa, the warmth of the fireplace, and maybe the cheerful sound of carolers singing in the streets. But in certain towns across North America and parts of Europe, there's a warning murmured quietly, especially to children: never open your door after midnight, even if the carolers are still singing, because sometimes the carolers aren't who or what they appear to be. One of the earliest known stories comes from a small snow-covered town in the 1950s. A man named Walter lived alone on the outskirts. One snowy Christmas Eve, at exactly 12:03 a.m., he heard voices outside singing. Not drunk partygoers, not kids staying up too late, but a perfectly synchronized choir. Their voices were flawless, too flawless. They sang Silent Night, but the harmony was so unnaturally precise that it made Walter's skin crawl. They were completely expressionless, not smiling, not breathing, just staring forward as they sang. And their mouths weren't moving in sync with the music. Some barely moved at all. The singing suddenly stopped. All four turned their heads toward his window at the same time, unnaturally fast.
"Let us in, we're cold."
But the voices didn't match the faces. The lips didn't move. The knock didn't match the sound. Walter didn't answer. He didn't sleep. And in the morning, there were long, deep footprints in the snow far larger than human feet. Decades later, stories continued. A family in Ohio reported seeing carolers outside their home at 12:12 a.m. Four figures again. Perfect posture, perfect harmony, too perfect. When the father opened the door just slightly to ask who they were, all four carolers leaned forward at the exact same angle, like marionettes being pulled by strings, and they said,
"We've been watching your home. We'd like to come in."
The father slammed the door. The singing stopped. Complete silence. Then, faint scratching at the windows, on every single window. And when the police arrived an hour later, they found nothing, except a single handprint on the glass, long, thin, with too many joints. Some folklore enthusiasts claim the Midnight Carolers are beings known as the Empty Choir, entities that mimic holiday traditions to lure victims outside. They can't enter homes uninvited, so they sing perfectly, hypnotically, trying to get someone to listen long enough or open the door. Those who invite them in, they disappear completely. Another theory suggests they're doppelgangers, shapeshifters drawn to the warmth and vulnerability of Christmas Eve. Reports say the carolers sometimes resemble people the witness knows: a grandmother, a cousin, a neighbor, but with eyes too dark, smiles too wide, voices too cold. One of the most recent sightings circulated on Reddit. A teenage girl heard carolers singing outside her house at 12 a.m. Her parents were asleep, so she quietly looked out the upstairs window. The four figures stood perfectly still, not dancing, not shuffling in the snow, just staring at her door while singing "Deck the Halls." But then, the girl noticed her mother's face among the carolers. Same hair, same coat, but the eyes were pitch black. She whispered, "Mom?" And the singing stopped instantly. All carolers snapped their heads upward, toward her window, and all sang, in one voice,
"Come outside."
The girl backed away from the window and hid under her bed. She said the singing continued for nearly an hour, until it slowly faded away into the distance, but her mother was asleep the whole time. So Shadow Seekers, if you hear carolers this Christmas Eve, especially after midnight, don't open the door, don't look through the window. And whatever you do, don't answer when they ask to come in, because they may not be human. Sleep tight, and watch out for the Midnight Carolers. And as always, stay curious.